The National Assembly agreed in its ordinary session today to remove the grilling motion directed to His Highness the Prime Minister Sheikh Al-Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Sabah from its agenda by a majority of 39 votes against 10 votes and 3 abstentions. His Highness the Prime Minister called on the Assembly, which convened in an ordinary session under the chairmanship of its Speaker Marzouq Al-Ghanim, to remove from its agenda the grilling motion submitted to him by the deputies Riyad Al-Atsani, Abdul Karim Al-Kindari and Dr. Hussein Al-Quran, because it was not constitutional. His Highness the Prime Minister said in his speech at the outset of the session that he would reject any unconstitutional practice because he fully abides by the Constitution and to the National Assembly statutes out of respect to the principles, values and ideals of the democratic system in Kuwait. His Highness deputised the Minister of Oil and Minister of State for National Assembly Affairs, Dr. Al-Hamad, to expose the violations to the Constitution in the grilling motion. Sarah Glubb has more.
The National Assembly unanimously approved in its regular session the draft law amending some provisions of Law No. 5 of 1982 on the establishment of Beit Al-Zakat or Zakat House. The amendments to Article 3 state that Beit Al-Zakat's Board of Directors should be chaired by the Ministry of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs, and it should also hold memberships in the Under-Secretariats of the Ministry of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs, the Ministry of Social Affairs and Labour, the Ministry of Finance, and the Secretariat General of the Awqaf General Secretariat, the Director General of the Public Authority for Minor Affairs, and the Director General of the Zakat House. The Board of Directors shall comprise of 5 members with vast experience and competence, and a person who does not hold a position in public office, one that is appointed by the Council of Ministers upon a proposal by the Minister of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs for a period of 3 years, renewable only once. Regarding Article 4 of the draft law, the amendments tackled the development of the terms of reference of the Board of Directors. This puts in regard the financial systems as well as the administrative regulations required by the nature of work at the Zakat House. It also tackles the regulations concerning the system of employment within Beit Al-Zakat, as well as the functionality of the affairs and the determinants of the salaries, without prejudice to the provisions of Articles 5 and 38 of the Civil Service Law. The amendments to Article 5 deal with the management of the Beit Al-Zakat, regarding the Director General, the Deputy, and those appointed by decree on the proposal of the Minister of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs for a period of 4 years, renewable once only. The National Assembly also unanimously approved during its meeting the amendments submitted by the government on the proposed law regarding consumer protectionism. The draft law, which has now been submitted to the government for referral, include amendments to Article 2, and further states that the Minister of Commerce and Industry should form a committee called the National Committee for Consumer Protection, concerned with consumer protectionism and safeguarding its interests, and should be headed by the Minister of Commerce and Industry, who may also delegate 1 agent within the ministry to assist. The committee should also comprise of members and representatives from other relevant departments at the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, as well as the Ministries of Health, Information, and the Public Authority for Agriculture Affairs and Fish Resources. It should also have a representative from the Fatwa and Legislation Department and the Union of Societies of Consumer Protection, as well as the General Authority for Environmental Affairs and the Public Authority for Industry. Other members also include representatives from the Union of Cooperative Societies, chosen by the Minister of Commerce and Industry, based on the nomination of the board members, as well as a representative from Kuwait Municipality and the General Administration of Customs, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Amendments to Article 9 of the law deal with the right of the consumer within the procurements of health and safety, the validity of goods, and the purpose of which they are used for. The article also acknowledges the right of the consumer to have and obtain all the information and correct data regarding the products that they buy. During the session, the National Assembly also struck off a grilling motion against His Highness Sheikh Al-Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, the Prime Minister, for violating constitutional procedures and National Assembly bylaw. In its regular session, the National Assembly voted overwhelmingly in favour of His Highness the Premier's demand to cancel the motion and lift it from the agenda. 39 MPs voted for, 10 voted against, and 3 abstained. His Highness Sheikh Jabir thanked the MPs for their abidance by the Constitution and the relevant laws, expressing readiness to ascend the grilling podium to answer any Constitution-abided interpellation or grilling motion. The main issues that were approved by MPs during their weekly session today were the amendments to the Beit Al-Zakat law, the Consumer Protection law, and also the grilling motion filed against His Highness the Prime Minister has been removed off the Parliament's agenda after a majority vote was received. From the National Assembly building, this is Sarah Glubb reporting for English News.